Hello guys, welcome back to Avalon. I hope you're having a good day so far. Today I thought we were going to do something fun and something different from the other readings I have already uploaded. This is going to be a pick-a-card reading in regards to your love life in the first month of this new year, which is January of 2026. So up here I have three piles, three different groups that you can choose from. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. Take a few seconds or even minutes to figure out which pile you feel the most drawn to, or which crystal you feel the most drawn to. This right here is a Kambaba jasper. It's quite beautiful. Over here, this is a classic, clear quartz. And over here we have a moss agate. Very beautiful pattern. If you feel drawn to a specific crystal because of their looks, or if you feel drawn to a specific number, definitely go with that. I'm going to put the timestamps for each pile in the description box down below so you can jump straight to your pile. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, definitely go with that as well and listen to both. Maybe take a few deep breaths here. I'm going to take one as well. All right, ready? Let's go. All right, hello pile number 1. If you chose this pile with this beautiful Kambaba jasper, then this is for you. I'm going to show you the crystal again, a little bit more up close. It's very pretty. The Kambaba jasper is often linked with emotional healing, and it also always kind of reminds me of, compassion, patience, tranquility, in a way being encouraging when it comes to a calm, grounded approach to love, rather than choosing drama or manipulation, anxiety. It's more so a crystal of, choosing from a place of healing. It's definitely connected with the heart chakra, so it is said to support healthy, stable connections, nurturing also long-term relationships, and even helping partners move through conflict without losing their, sort of emotional centers. So you might already resonate with that message. Let's see what your cards have to say in terms of the overall energy of your love life this month. So we have the ripple effect, part of something bigger, details are taken care of. And we also have poised as the overall message. This is beautiful. And now over here I have 4 tarot cards in regard to all 4 weeks of the month of January, as well as a clarifying oracle love card at the end here. So let's see for week number 1 of this month what is going to come to you in your love life. We have the Hierophant. For week number 2 we have the 8 of Cups. For week number 3 we have the 7 of Coins. And for week number 4, we have the 4 of Swords. The clarifying love oracle. Ooh, this is kind of difficult for you to see. It's honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. The lighting is kind of a bit difficult here. We'll find a way to work this out. Maybe do it like that. Okay. I want to read you first what the card poised actually means out of the guiding book here. Let's see where we have it. It's quite a beautiful message, which is why I want to do that here. Poised, that's the number 48, the relationship message. When you're confident and happy in your own skin, you are ready for deeper, more intimate relationships. You have nothing to prove right now. You are completely yourself and can handle anything. Love, friendships, and harmonious new connections are all present now or are coming in. You're ready to give and receive from the heart. This is a beautiful place to be. I wanted to read this to you because it's such a beautiful message. So the overall message I get here for you for the month of January and your love life is that you don't have to worry about anything. If you want to draw in a new connection, it's definitely coming in for you this month, because you're in this energy of just being very at peace with yourself, maybe having healed from a past relationship that is over, or from a lot of difficulties in your connections altogether, really putting the work in, and you're now going to be rewarded with a new connection that is going to make you very happy and feel very fulfilled, because you are already at that stage yourself, right? With the ripple effect, it is literally what the card already said. Details are taken care of. Spirit is really working behind the scenes here, orchestrating new meetups for you with people. So if you are invited to gatherings this month, or if you're trying out a new hobby, or you're invited somewhere, definitely go, be social, because there's likely someone you're going to meet when you go to these events. Let's take a look at your tarot reading here. So for the first week of January, we have the Hierophant. So this could be a message about you already being in a committed relationship with someone. If you are, then, this month, this relationship is definitely going to deepen for you. You're going to have a very happy, harmonious time with your partner, really getting to know each other well, maybe going out to events together, or going to the cinema together, trying to find different things to do. Maybe even traveling together. If you're not already in a relationship, the Hierophant could mean that there are past structures of past relationships, or even structures around relationships that you have watched growing up that are still kind of influencing your love life as of now. So, maybe do a bit of reflecting. And with this beautiful crystal and with the Poised card, I see you already doing that. Definitely continue to kind of reflect upon the relationships that you grew up with. For most of us, it is our parents and the marriage of our mother and father that kind of first introduce us to what relationships are, to what love really is. And depending on what that looked like for you growing up and what you have witnessed, you might have a specific idea about what love is. It might be conditional, it might be full of drama or chaos, manipulation, sabotaging, lying, and cheating maybe. Or for others of you, it's the complete opposite of a love being very calming, safe, and beautiful. So depending on what you have grown up around, you might have a specific definition of what love is. There might be some structures that are more harmful for you, that are actually keeping you from a healthy and happy and safe relationship, specifically emotionally and physically safe relationship that you desire. So in this first week of January, you might be reflecting upon that, trying to figure out what ideas about love are actually benefiting you and your life, and which one aren't. This could kind of be a result of this full moon in Cancer that we had 2 days ago. The energy of the full and new moons is always present 3 days prior and 3 days after the actual full moon event. So, today is January the 5th. You might feel the energy of the full moon in Cancer and go through some emotional upheavals here, or just really being made conscious of some emotional patterns from the past, or some mindset about love that still needs some healing, that still needs some reflection and some analysis. In the second week of January, I see you releasing a lot of those maybe toxic patterns and structures around relationships and love. So this could be what the beginning of the year has actually done for you, is that you realized maybe in 2025 you closed out a relationship that was, really not a good one, and that was very difficult for you to get over or to make sense of. I see you making sense of what happened, really reflecting on past partnerships with different people, or even, what love truly means for you, and really releasing and purging, moving away from the things that no longer serve you in regard to relationships. Maybe you thought that, in the past you always had to give 100%, and it's totally okay if the other person doesn't show up as much as you, because maybe you're a giver, maybe you're an overgiver or an oversharer, and you have maybe grown up with a mother who has done the same in regard to her relationship. So to you it's normal to kind of overgive and to be a people pleaser also in relationships. And maybe you have been made aware of this pattern and realize, well, this is a mother wound. This is what all the women in my life have always been doing, and I have done the same, and it actually doesn't work for me, and it also hasn't worked for my mother or my aunt or my sister or my best friend, this might actually be harmful to a lot of us women. I'm no longer going to continue that mindset or that idea of relationships, So I see you really releasing and letting go from a lot that doesn't serve you in your love life, which is very, very positive. So kudos to you. This is a lot of work, and a lot of people really shy away from that. So for you to really put the work in and to be honest with yourself and really working through those maybe difficulties is beautiful. A lot of people rather project instead of reflect. They like to point the finger at everybody else. But for you to really say, actually there's some stuff that I can improve on, and maybe it is actually learning to fill your own cup and learning more about self-love. That is actually amazing. So I'm very proud of you. Awesome. In the third week of January, we have the 7 of Coins. So this is watering and nurturing those new ideas about love, right? So if you have figured out what hasn't worked in the past, or what you have seen other women in your life maybe do, or other men in your life do in regard to relationships that are actually not very beneficial for long-lasting, healthy connections, then you're definitely in week 3 reflecting on what a relationship looks like to you and what a healthy relationship looks like to you, what kind of habits you can nurture in order to attract more healthy and emotionally safe relationships in the future, and actually watering those ideas, really sitting with them, figuring out, okay, how can I show up for myself even more? How can I maybe double down in some self-love and self-care? What do I personally have to do to attract long-term relationships that are actually going to be grounded and where everyone kind of takes responsibility for their actions, where I don't have to continuously question their motives or intentions with me. Maybe, a thing that would help you is writing down positive affirmations for yourself in regard to the relationship that you want to attract in this year or in this month of January 2026, and actually repeating these new affirmations for yourself. So maybe it is safe for you to love. I attract healthy and safe, positive love into my life. Come up with some affirmations that really kind of sum up the relationship that you want to experience or the love that you want to draw in. In week number 4 here, the last week of the month, we have the 4 of Swords. So this is you maybe being in a more reclusive energy, spending more time kind of tending to healing your heart, which kind of fits the Kambaba jasper that we were talking about, So maybe if you don't have a crystal like this and you can get your hand on one of them, do that, lay it on your heart center where your heart chakra lies, and maybe take some deep breaths, maybe meditate with it. That might be very beneficial for you. But I see you just this entire month being very reflective, being in this energy of there are certain things I want to tweak, maybe even in an existing relationship already, or maybe if you're looking for one and you're really doing the work and kind of realizing what you need to let go of, what you want to draw in, how you can draw it in, and then in the last week of the month really reflecting upon how far you've come, maybe healing the last obstacles along the way, tending to the last bits of residue here from past relationships or past beliefs. And then I see you here with this honeymoon card that I try to show you, although it's very difficult here in the lighting. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This could just be you enjoying the bliss of spending time with yourself, really understanding what self-love is, and in turn then also really understanding what true love is for you and what kind of relationships you really want to have. If you set out the intention for a healthy, new, solid relationship that is equal and reciprocal and that is going to make you very happy, know that if you ask, Spirit is going to deliver, right? Because details are taken care of. The happier you are, the more you fall in love with yourself and learn to take good care of you, the more you're going to draw people in, and then even potential partners who, are vibrating on the same frequency, who want the same things as you in relationships, who develop the same new mindsets and new beliefs about love. And so that seems to be very important. But I see you already doing that, I see you being in this very harmonious, even euphoric energy of kind of like new year, new you sort of attitude, where I think you have a very positive mindset here, you know, and it's basically like, well, I have some stuff I want to tweak. I have some things I have to work on in my relationship patterns. I'm going to do that. I'm going to release past relationships, and I'm going to release those patterns in order to draw in relationships and love that is making me feel even more fulfilled and seen. So that's definitely coming for you. But there's definitely a very self-reflective energy going within, integrating some past lessons about past partnerships and love experiences that are going to help you in the long run really establish what you want for your future relationship. So if you already have someone in mind that you would like to develop a relationship with, if you're interested in someone, definitely set your intentions straight and really make sure to clearly communicate to yourself as well as that person what you would like in that relationship. That seems to be very beneficial for you here. I'm going to see, because for a lot of you, there might already be a person in mind that you want to connect with or maybe really want to be with. So I want to see, for those of you who already have someone in mind, what they're currently thinking about you, what they're feeling about you, and what they would tell you if there's something, a message that they would like to bring across to you. So what is the person on Group 1's mind thinking about them, Spirit? The sun popped out. Ooh, you make them very happy. Oh my gosh, they think you're a shining star. You mean everything to them. You feel like home. You're very sunny. You have a very sunny personality. They love your personality. You might be very creative, very tapped in, tuned in into your personal creativity. And you're basically like pure sunlight to this person, you know? So whoever you have in your mind, you make them very happy. They want to spend as much time with you as they can. They like your positive outlook on life, and they want to spend more time around people who have a mindset and an outlook on life the way that you have. So maybe right now this person is surrounded by a lot of pessimistic, negative talking and thinking people, and you're the opposite of that. So they like to dwell in that optimism that you have for life and also for love. But you make this person very happy. That's beautiful. So what are they feeling? What are their feelings about you? The World. This is so beautiful. Another card flipped. The Knight of Coins. So you literally mean the world to them. You're everything to them. You're their happiness. You're their home. They feel like they belong with you. They want to be with you, and they want to start this new chapter in their life with you. Maybe this new 9-year cycle that we're entering this year with you. They definitely want to be with you, and you mean a lot to them. They admire you a great deal, but they also really want to take it slow with the Knight of Coins. You know, maybe you know who this person is, and maybe you have just recently met, and you're like, whoa, you know, this is a lot. They feel the same way, you know. They want to take it slow and not overwhelm you with the intensity of what they feel and how highly they think of you. But you mean a great deal to them, and they want to make sure that this connection is, you know, kind of being made stable and starts off in a very grounded way, so that all this high energy, this happy energy that you share, is not going to be sabotaged in any way. So they don't want to overwhelm you with anything too fast. They don't want to take things too quickly, because they don't want to ruin this amazing energy and this amazing connection that they feel with you. So what would they say to you if they would speak to you right now? What kind of a message does this person have in regard to my group number 1, Spirit? What would they say to my group number 1? There's a card that wanted to pop out. The Chariot. Well, that they're on their way to you. Well, they're completely focused on you, honey. This is such a beautiful energy. They want to be with you. They're going through major progress in their own lives. Maybe they themselves have figured out some past patterns and relationships that they're going to let go of as well. There's major success with that. The Chariot is a very quick moving energy, so I would expect them reaching out to you in January already. So maybe even this week, but definitely up until the last week of the month, you're going to hear from them. They might want to meet up with you, go to some sort of event or gathering with you, invite you out somewhere. And this person really, really likes you. It's a very positive energy here. It's very innocent, very pure. They have pure intentions. They want to build this slowly because you mean a lot to them and they don't want to ruin anything. So if you know who this is, congratulations. This is such a beautiful energy. And they're coming to you. All right, so this is all that I have for you. Oh, look what I have at the bottom of the deck. Literally the Ace of Cups. This person loves you. So if you're seeing this and you don't have anyone in mind, as of now, you're like, who the heck is she talking about? Well, there's definitely going to be a person coming into your life this month who is so in love with you, literally. They're going to fall in love with you so quickly. They're going to take it slow. They have good intentions. They're going to make their intentions very clear to you, but they want to definitely move this connection forward. And there's a huge likeness here that you feel just the same way about them as they feel about you. How beautiful. I'm so happy for you. You know, this also ties in with the honeymoon card again. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This sounds to me like it's enjoy the bliss of getting to know each other and really enjoying each other's company, you know. This might be the person that you have been waiting for, that Spirit is rewarding you with after all the hard work you've been doing. So if you have been wishing on a person to enter your life that is literally your dream relationship or that you can build a dream relationship with, Spirit says they're orchestrating that for you right now, for this person to enter your life this month. Yay, I'm so happy for you. This is a beautiful message. This is all that I have for you. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope to see you next time. Bye! Okay, hi there, group number 2. You have chosen the second pile with the clear quartz on it. I'm going to show you this beautiful crystal. Clear quartz are known to be amplifiers. So in regard to love and relationship, this could mean that you're really going to be highly focused on self-love or calling in a partner or deepening an existing relationship here. It is kind of often used to clarify what you truly want, right? So helping you clear sort of mental fog, mixed signals, and old patterns so you can send out even more clean and coherent signals in your relationship. And because of its purifying quality, you know, many people use it to release energetic residue from past connections, you know, cord cutting, and, you know, really keeping the relationship energy clear and honest. So you might already resonate with that. Let's see what other cards you have gotten. Your overall energy for your love life this month is the Pearl, Alchemy, the reward at the end, from grit to grace. And we have Time to Go. Time to go, group number 2. Where are we going? What are we leaving behind? What are we clearing out here with the clear quartz? Let's see, I have 4 tarot cards here representing all 4 weeks of the month of January, and then we have a clarifying love oracle card here for you. So let's see. For week number 1, we have the 7 of Swords. For week number 2, we have the 7 of Wands. For week 3, we have the 10 of Coins, and for week 4, we have the Lovers. The clarifying love oracle, as you can hardly see, but I'm going to read it to you, is soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So you might already have a person in mind that you are literally going toward here. And if you're right now questioning, well, is this person my soulmate? Or am I just making this up, but I feel a very strong connection with them? Spirit is saying, yes, this is literally your soulmate. This is a person that you were supposed to meet, that you definitely have an energetic contract with. But overall, the energy that I see here for you with the Pearl and Time to Go is that you might feel like you have to leave a relationship behind, you know? You might have to leave a soulmate connection behind. Maybe you have been with a soulmate or a person that you consider your soulmate, and you just know right now, this relationship is over. You should be moving. It has served its course. It is done. You maybe have already emotionally checked out. The 45 on this card also boils down to a 9. In numerology, the 9 is a card of endings, closing out a cycle. So you might feel like ending literally a 9-year or 9-month relationship with someone that you considered your soulmate, but that you don't really feel connected to anymore, or you can just tell, the relationship is what it is, and you should move on. But I want to read you what this card says in the guiding book here in regard to love and relationships. So I'm going to look this up for you here. This is 45. Time to go. Let's see what it says. It's over, or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost, although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract. It is more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. So if you're right now going through something like this, I send you a hug. Breakups are so difficult, and I feel you, and I send you love, and I know that you can get through this, although maybe it seems kind of impossible right now because it might hurt a lot. But Spirit is saying you get through this, and with the Pearl card over here, you will be able to alchemize the hurt and the pain of maybe having to walk away from a person that you really loved and turn it into something positive and uplifting that is really going to shape your character moving forward. Spirit is saying there's always something we can learn, even about relationships that are over, and if this is a soulmate connection, it definitely has served its purpose. Maybe you had a karmic soul contract that played out here. Maybe this person betrayed you or sabotaged you, gaslit you in any way, and so you might really go through a difficult time right now. I'm so sorry, should that be the case. But Spirit is saying you will get through this. And you might not see the light at the end of the tunnel right now, but it's definitely there. And Spirit is confirming that right now. You're going to see things very clearly here already, but if not now, then very soon in the future, about what this relationship was, why it happened, and what you can learn from it. This might already be a question that you can ask yourself right now. What is this trying to show me, What is this trying to teach me? And how can I learn from this experience so that I attract a more healthy or safe or fitting relationship for me and my personal wants and needs in the future? You're definitely going to go from grit to grace, because you may be having the courage right now to walk away from a relationship, to walk away from a person that you love. Spirit is seeing it. Spirit knows what you feel, and Spirit is saying you're going to be rewarded, because if you have maybe noticed some manipulative patterns with that person, you being strong enough to face this head on, to not, then gaslight yourself and pretend it's not there and everything is fine, and actually taking all that energy and your power back and saying, I can't do this any longer, I'm leaving because this is not what I deserve. Spirit is saying you're really showing up for you. You're choosing yourself. You're choosing self-love. You're choosing your peace. You're choosing your freedom and your safety and your inner balance in a way, and not being or staying connected to a person that cannot show up for you. You are then going to show up for yourself. And, if your wants and needs aren't fulfilled, if the relationship is not equal, if you feel used, maybe even abused in any sort of way, it's very strong for you to take the exit, and say, I'm no longer doing this. And Spirit is saying you're going to be rewarded for that because you're choosing yourself. And that's kind of showing Source that you're not willing to stay in a relationship that does not serve you and that is not healthy. and that is keeping you stuck in something negative. So, wow. This is quite a lot, and I'm so proud of you for doing this. This is difficult. This is tough work. But what I'm drawn to here is that we have the 7 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. So we have a double 7 here. 7 could be a sign for you, the number 7. Maybe you have been together with a person for 7 years or 7 months. But what I'm seeing here in the first week of January with the 7 of Swords, there could have been a huge betrayal, or a person not being honest with you. And you either will figure it out in this first month of January, or the entire depth of that betrayal is going to hit you full force here. You might then start to make a plan to really exit the relationship, or you're going to have this plan in place that is going to allow you to leave the relationship behind. Maybe you're literally sitting down making a to-do list. Okay, I really want to get out of this relationship where this is not healthy to me, so I'm going to do X, Y, and Z in order to achieve that. So this is kind of the energy that we're starting out with in this first week. In the second week, I see you kind of following through on that with the 7 of Wands. I see you kind of really standing your ground, maybe establishing some firm boundaries. I'm no longer going to take this. I'm not going to allow you to treat me this way. This is not what I deserve. This is unfair. And you are not changing, and you are not evolving. And we have talked about this a lot, but it's not changing. I am now going to choose my peace. I'm going to choose me, and I'm going to leave. So I see you really following through on the plan that you have made in the first week of the month to really get out of this relationship, or out of this love situation where you trust yourself and your instincts and your gut. You have everything in place. You thought this through. You figured everything out. You know everything that you need to know. And you're now kind of in this energy of self-preservation, where you're no longer going to allow yourself to be treated badly by another person, right? This could also mean that there's some sort of conflict here coming up with that specific person that you want to break up with or leave behind, where they might not understand why all of a sudden you're no longer willing to invest in the relationship with them. So there might be a little bit of a arguing here, or a quarrel coming up. But with the 7 of Wands, it's also telling me that you're most likely to kind of win this argument. You might actually have laid out your arguments and have prepared for this discussion beforehand. This could also be what the 7 of Swords in regard to the 7 of Wands means, really telling this person what no longer works and what you're no longer willing to take. And this person might not be able to really keep up with you in that kind of dispute, right? So you will have some sort of advantage over that other person in that situation. You are going to remain on top. This is sort of a situation that is going to teach you a lot about having difficult conversations and following through on that, even if it's difficult. You might be aware that this person that you want to leave behind is not really conscious of their toxic patterns, because maybe you have tried to explain that to them in the past and they didn't understand what you were coming from. Maybe you tried to communicate very clearly, but they didn't comprehend in any way what you were trying to say. So you might as well, literally talk to a wall, because communication without comprehension literally doesn't lead anywhere. So maybe you're done also over-explaining yourself. You're done taking less than you deserve. And even if a bit of conflict comes up where this person kind of tries to hold you up and tries to make you stay, you're definitely going to remain on top, having clear boundaries in place, saying, no, I'm no longer going to allow you to gaslight me into believing that we'll figure all of this out when I have to do all the work and you literally do nothing. So you're really standing your ground here, moving forward. And again, choosing you, knowing that it's time for you to go and to leave this person behind. And it's still kind of bittersweet and difficult to do, because you feel a very strong connection to them here with the soulmate card. But you also know nothing is going to change until you change. And if you have given all you've got to the relationship and the other person can't meet you halfway in any way, maybe you have this realization of, okay, I have spent enough time here. I deserve more. I deserve better. I want something else for myself. And so I'm going to go. That other person might not understand that. So there might be a little bit of upheaval. That's what I'm saying here. In the third week of the month, we have the 10 of coins. So I see you as really reflecting upon these first few weeks of the month that seem to be a bit turbulent or difficult for you, also emotionally speaking, but really looking at it and realizing, well, but at least I have gone through most part of it now. I have followed through on this. I have had that difficult conversation. I have chosen myself. And in week 3, you might already realize how far you have come and what's ahead of you, and that the most difficult part, of getting out of this relationship or love situation is done. With the 10 of coins, this could point to some success in your career and in your finances that are going to give you this positive energy, a little bit of an energetic boost for you to follow through, as maybe your love life is a bit chaotic and difficult. Maybe you're going to get some financial needs to also exit a relationship, which is going to help you. This might be a message here. And in week 4, with the Lovers, I see you really making a final decision to choose yourself. This is also pointing again to the soulmate card. So there's definitely a deep soulmate connection here with that person. And it's not to say that you will never reunite. Maybe you have a hard time letting them go. Maybe you're having a hard time to see all the betrayal, to accept all the betrayal. But Spirit is really saying, for now, this does not work. For now, you deserve more, and you actually leaving it behind and again choosing yourself is just the right thing to do. So it might feel very difficult for you right now. And again, I send you so much love and a hug. This is such a difficult situation, and I'm so sorry you're going through this. But Spirit is saying you will get through this. You're going to alchemize this experience into something positive for yourself. So by the end of the month, you come out of January with a whole new idea and vision of what a true relationship really looks like, and what you want a healthy and true relationship to be. What you deserve, what you're willing to put into it, but also what you expect the other person in this to put into this in terms of work, effort, speaking things through. And since this is the final card of the month, there's also an energy here of you really finding that maybe in February or March. There's definitely some healing, I guess, that needs to happen here after this very difficult situation for you. But once you have healed from this, once you have really integrated the lesson of what this relationship was supposed to teach you, you're going to feel so at peace with the situation. And you might even be, in the future, you might even be grateful that it happened, because it has put you on the right track when it comes to future relationships. Sometimes we have to learn what doesn't work at all in order to know how we want things to work. And sometimes, karmic contracts play out that we are supposed to go through for also, spiritual development, character development, that are going to make us course correct our path so that we actually get the blessed, fulfilled relationship and love that we're looking for here. So I know this might sound a bit off, but try to find the positive elements in this ending, and try to really look at it from an angle of, you cannot change this person. This person can only change themselves. And if they don't want to see their toxic patterns, their toxic coping mechanisms, if they don't want to meet you halfway, it is actually not something that you want to spend your time and energy on, trying to make something work with someone who isn't able to meet you halfway. You deserve better. And it seems like you know your worth, and you're stepping away and you're making the right decision, even if it feels wrong in the moment, even if it's very difficult for you to follow through on that right now. It's the right thing to do. You're going to get through this. You're going to come out on top, and eventually at some point you're going to heal from it, look back on it, and realize maybe it was kind of necessary for you to figure out what you actually want and what you actually deserve in relationships. You're going from grit to grace. You're going to be rewarded for this decision and for the work you're doing here. And maybe eventually, in the future, this person does wake up and has their personal spiritual awakening, and is also choosing to move away and leave behind anything that no longer serves them. And maybe they're leveling up just like you're leveling up, and maybe in the future you guys will reunite. It's all possible, because this is a soulmate connection, and the Lovers really points to a very deep and intense spiritual connection that you have. So it's possible that just for right now you guys kind of have to part ways, Everyone has to do their personal healing and their personal evaluations and going through some growth. But that doesn't mean that maybe in the future you guys cannot reunite. I would not necessarily wait on that, you know. I don't walk away from that person and then sit in a waiting energy of, well, you know, I think this person is going to come back around, I'm just going to wait. No, focus on you. Look at it from an angle of, what is this supposed to teach me? And move on with your life. Maybe focus on your career here, your finances, focus on the people that do show up for you. And if that person at some point in your life is going to return, maybe just for a final conversation, in a sense where this person shows some reflection that they have done, and maybe for a new start, that's nice, you know. But for now, this seems like it's over for now. And I just want to say again, I think you're so strong. And just know that you're capable. You have come such a long way already. This has been such a journey for you. And for you to now make this decision and choose yourself and your health and your well-being, that is the growth that Spirit wanted you to go through. That is the growth that is going to catapult you onto the right path. And you're going to definitely meet new people. And you're definitely going to find new love if you wanted, you know. I want to actually give you a little angel message here and see what the angels have to say to you in regard to this. As a final message here. All right. Look at that, big happy changes. And back at the deck we have perfect timing. So there's literally nothing to worry about. I know you're going through a lot right now, but big happy changes are on its way to you. And that big happy change might just be that you're now willing to no longer sacrifice yourself for a relationship that is not actually deserving of your time and energy. And look at you on this card. Like, can you see her? She's so happy. She has her arms stretched out. You're going to get through this, and you're going to be in an energy of gratitude and bliss that you have gotten through this, and that it made you stronger and more resilient, and that it showed you also what you will and will not accept in relationships. You will get through this, and you will come out the other end, and you will be happy again. Okay, so I'm sending you a big hug. This is all I have for you right now. You got this. I believe in you. You can do this. I love you, and I hope to see you again next time. All right, hello group number 3. I'm glad to have you here. You have chosen the third pile with this beautiful moss agate crystal on top of it. I'm going to show you the crystal here, and it's very beautiful pattern. The moss agate is kind of associated with growth, renewal, and fresh starts, making it really like a favorite of mine for new relationships, or for bringing, you know, new life to stagnant connections in your life. It supports emotional balance and patience, so partners can accept each other's pace and imperfections more easily. If you may be struggling with that right now in your relationship, this might be a crystal for you to get and to work with. Traditionally, it is linked also with nature and fertility, and it is sometimes used to encourage steady, rooted love and to help couples kind of grow together over time instead of apart. So yeah, this is the crystal. You might already resonate with one of those messages, but even if not, no worries. Let's see what the cards have to say. The overall energy of your love life in January. You actually got 3 oracle cards here. Wow, I didn't look at them yet, so let's see. We have clear waters, clear vision, confirmation, right timing, opportunity. We have the well maidens, kindness, respect, reverence, compassion. And we have Treasure Island with the number 9. Wow, that's a very, very beautiful energy. I'm getting the energy of someone being in a relationship already, or even if you're not, you are kind of in a dating phase with someone, and it's actually a very happy and harmonious connection that you feel to that person. You really feel like maybe you have hit the jackpot here, or you feel very very seen and very understood by that person. This is definitely an energy of things being very clear to you or becoming clear to you here in January. You know, maybe you're not together with that person yet, but you kind of know, you know, this is the right time, you want to be with them, everything is super clear to you, you're not questioning anything about this connection. Maybe you know exactly about their intentions and their motives, and they know about yours, so there's no confusion here, you know, no irritations, no back and forth, no playing games, no question marks like, what is this, where are we going? It seems like you're very clear where you're headed in your love life and even with whom, and this seems to be an already existing connection that is based on kindness, compassion, respect, and reverence here. So it seems like things are going very well for you in your love life, and if they're not now and you're like, what the heck is she talking about? Your love life is definitely going to look up, because if you don't know this person yet, you're going to meet this person in the month of January. So let's go even further. I have 4 tarot cards here representing each week of the month of January, and then we have a clarifying love oracle card for you. So let's see what we have for the first month of January here. We have the Page of Wands for you. For the second week, we have the 4 of Coins. For the third week, we have the 5 of Swords, and for the fourth week, the 3 of Cups. And the clarifying love oracle card that we have, that is kind of difficult for you to see, but I'm going to read it for you. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Wow, this is a very, very beautiful energy. So yeah, let's talk about it a bit further. Although I have to say this is going to be quick, because it seems like things are very clear to you and your person here, and you know exactly where you want to go together and where you're headed. So in this first week of January with the Page of Wands, I see an exciting beginning of a blooming or like blossoming relationship with someone. The Page of Wands is an energy, you know, of curiosity, even of playfulness, and really feeling each other out, kind of figuring each other out, getting to know each other a bit more. You might be in the beginning stages of dating here, or you might have dated for a while and you're just getting to know each other better and better, feeling very content and happy with each other and getting to know the other person. You might even double down in some hobbies together. Maybe you're both painters, or maybe one of you is a painter and kind of makes the other person curious about trying it as well. So you might go to some sort of painting class together or something. Like, I'm getting an energy of a very like playful, almost childlike, getting to know each other and going to certain events together, or meeting and going to the cinema together, or trying out hobbies together, or a craft together, something like that. And that is like a very beautiful beginning of your month here in terms of your love life, where you're really investing time and energy to really getting to know the other person, and vice versa, you know. In the second week of the month, we have the 4 of Coins, which is the 4 of Pentacles. And in that second week of January, I see either you or the other person kind of being a bit more distant. Now, don't be alarmed, this doesn't have to mean anything, but it could be that this relationship or this connection starts off so well that either one of you, or maybe both of you, are kind of questioning this, you know, this is too good to be true, or this feels too nice to be real, or, you know, you guys are starting to question this very natural, organic connection that you guys share, and that might cause in you guys kind of to move away from the connection, because it might be a bit much for you to handle, or again, you're looking for the other shoe to drop, or you're looking for something to happen here that is going to prove to you this is actually not as good as it seems, you know, this is all kind of in my head, or it can't be that unproblematic, it can't be that easy with a person. So maybe one of you or both of you have had some very difficult relationships in the past, and you're kind of still stuck on those experiences that you've made in the past, being kind of worried that they're going to repeat in this new connection. Spirit is saying they won't. You have grown, you have changed, but the fact that it's going to come up in the second week of January could mean that you guys should look at that together. You know, maybe you sit down together and actually just openly communicate with each other. The energy seems to be that you can really do that together, and I'm sure the other person will understand, because they might have had some similar experiences. So don't let this discourage you right now. This is something that you can work through and move toward even together. If you're not talking with this person about that, this is something that you might just have to reflect upon yourself. Why do you feel like if something feels so good, if things are so clear to you, if you know this person respects you and treats you well and actually feels like exactly the person you always wanted to meet and be with, why do you feel like it's going to end badly? Why do you feel like this might all just be not true or not real? What are you afraid of here, and maybe reflect a bit upon that. What is the issue there for you? Do you maybe believe you don't deserve a relationship that goes as good as that? Why would you believe that? And with this love oracle card that we have here, Spirit is really saying that it's safe for you to love. It's safe for you to open up to this person. It is safe for you to open your heart. So any sort of negative or difficult past experiences you have made with other partners, don't, kind of drag them into this new, beautifully developing connection with this new person. Try to reflect upon it and try to release it so that it doesn't further manipulate this new connection that you have with a person. And that is kind of an energy that you take with you into the third week of the month of January with a 5 of Swords card. There's an energy here of still having to work through maybe these anxieties, these worries about this energy kind of subsiding or going wrong anyway or something. There's a deeply rooted fear of manipulation here, of maybe being sabotaged. You're kind of maybe projecting some past struggles onto this new person who has very innocent and pure intentions for you. And Spirit is telling you in the middle of the month to really look at that so that you don't start to sabotage a perfectly fine and good connection and relationship that could be built up here, But I see you really working through that and figuring all this out and releasing it, because the last card of the month is the 3 of Cups. And that's a card of celebration, of joy, of reconciliation, of mending difficulties. So, if you're starting off on a great note here with high energy and really enjoying to getting to know each other, and then it kind of becomes a bit wobbly and difficult for you because past problems or not yet completely integrated lessons are kind of intervening, you are going to figure this out by the end of the month, and you will kind of reunite with that person, or you're going to say, well, if I look at this new connection very clearly, I don't feel anything of what has happened to me in the past come up in this new connection. This person is completely different than my other partners in the past, or, I got to know them over some weeks or days, over a period of time, and they don't show me any red flags, any bad signals where I should maybe be cautious. I think you're going to reflect the behavior that this person has showed to you already, and you will going to find when you look at their actions that there's really nothing wrong with how they're treating you, and that's going to really make you feel safe and calm down to actually kind of reconcile those difficulties, this inner struggle that you might have, and to come together with this person in this joyous union here at the end of the month. So you might actually start a relationship with them by the end of January, or you'll pick up dating again from where you left it off after the first week of January. But I see you kind of reuniting, mending those difficulties, maybe openly talking about them, figuring out how to move about them, but really just being happy and relieved to have figured that out and to be able to move forward in a positive energy. So I really want to see what this person that has such good intentions for you would actually say to you, what they're thinking about you and the connection right now, and what they're feeling about you, and what they would say to you if they would talk to you right now. So Spirit, who is this person? What are they thinking about group number 3? What are their thoughts about my group number 3? Can you tell me what are they thinking about my group number 3 here? Judgment. Wow. So how they see you and what they think of you is they think they can grow with you. They think this is a connection that could seriously expand and evolve into something long-lasting and long-standing and very beautiful. They see you as the partner that they have looked for or even longed for a very long time, but never found. And they feel like they found that in you, a person that they can build their life with. A long-term relationship that stands the test of time. That's how they think of you. This is the partner that they have been looking for. This is the person that they can see themselves build their life with. Wow, so they think very highly of you. What do they feel here for my group number 3? What are they feeling? The Page of Swords. Well, they want to get to know you. They're curious about you. They feel like you can grow together. You can learn more about building a strong and solid, stable, mature relationship together. This person might be very book smart, or a student at university, or very much into literature, classical literature, or even poetry. They might even write you a poem or recite some sort of excerpt of a novel to you. They might even write a novel themselves. There's an energy here about being very curious, wanting to get to know you, but also being very communicative. So again, if this energy comes up in the middle of the month where kind of old struggles of yours come up again, old worries, openly discuss it with the person. I think this person will understand, as they might have gone through very similar things, like I've said. And even if not, they're very open to listen here. They're honest, and they just want to be in a constant exchange with you here. They want to talk with you. They might reach out to you a lot, maybe even message you every single day to see how you're doing. But they're feeling positive. They're feeling very excited and curious to get to know you, because they feel a strong connection to you, and they think, they can really build a life with you. That's what I'm getting here. So what would they say to you if they would talk to you right now? What is something that they would want to make clear? Ace of Wands. Wow. Ace of Wands. I'm going to take a clarifier. 6 of Wands. Woo! So if they would talk to you right now, honey, they would tell you that they see a successful relationship with you that can stand the test of time. They want this fresh new connection that is actually going to be successful, and that is going to make them feel good, that is going to be long lasting, and they see that with you. If they would have to say something to you right now, it would be that they really see you guys working this out and being together in the long run, and it being a very successful, very satisfying, very fulfilling relationship. So they want to start over in relationships and in love in general, and they feel like they can do that with you, because there's a lot of growth with you. There's a lot that you could build together over time. They're very curious to build that with you and look into that with you. They want to talk with you, and they see a very successful outcome here where you guys will stay together for the long run and build a life together that is a very healthy and mature and grounded love. This is a very mature person that is going to make it very clear to you how interested they are in you. And Spirit is really saying that you can trust this person. You can open up to them. And if you have had a string of very bad relationships in the past, this is the connection that you have been waiting for, just as it is for this person. They have waited for you. You guys have waited for each other. It is safe for you both to open up to each other. And there's definitely potential here for this staying and developing into something even more deep and beautiful here. I'm getting 2 people who are very wise and very mature for their age, who can definitely figure this little struggle here in the middle of the month out together, and who will get through this together. And you will be in such a happy, lighthearted, beautiful energy here by the end of the month. So this is what I have for you for your love life in the month of January 2026. I hope this was helpful. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Much love, and see you next time. Bye!